So I'm going to go and create a unit 4 folder in here. And since this is the DOM tree, we're going to create a DOM tree. You can actually, you know what, generate the entire DOM tree using just JavaScript if you want. But of course, usually you have a placeholder to start. And then from that point on, you can add elements or child elements to that tree, right, to a new position. So why don't we go ahead and create a file called, bless you, unit 4, I'll just call it index. It's easier to remember. So this is our main document. I'm going to create the CSS as well as the JS folder. So CSS folder for style sheet. You should all know to do that by now. A JS for the JavaScript. Okay. The index here, title we would just say JS DOM. I was thinking about putting like travel hotspots or something. Might go to Boise. Okay, so as you notice, this is the DOM tree. It's pretty plain. It's just a very simple skeleton of it. We have the root tag, the head, and the body branches. That's those two branches. And the body is nothing there. So I usually, if you see before, right, with the demos, I always put like H1 here, and then we have like JS DOM, like that. I hard coded that in there. You could build that dynamically using JavaScript, right? Just by going to your JavaScript, make a tag, a variable, target the body tag, and then from the body tag, you create a H1 element, and then this is a text node, and then attach it to the body tag. And there you have your first H1. Okay, so we can do that very quickly with the H2, for example. So if you save this now, I'm going to preview it, so I have a copy of the output somewhere over here. And let me separate that out of this screen here. This is my output. That's the H1. We could write H2 right below it. Or use JavaScript to do that really quick. So first, we attach the CSS and the JavaScript file. You do either way. You can write the script first, the link it first, or write the file first. It doesn't matter. So I'm going to use the script. src is inside the JS folder, and I'm going to call it just dom.js. Okay, and we'll do the same with the style sheet. Link rel relationship is the style sheet, and the link to that is going to be inside the CSS, and we'll also call dom.css. Okay, so there's, let you do that just to make it look nice. And then now I need to go into these folders in here and create those files. So the JS file, DOM, the CSS, style sheet, that's DOM, okay. So we're going to attach the H2 tag right below this H1, and we'll see how that works. It's pretty straightforward. Since we have the script attached to the top of our file, okay, we want to make sure that the DOM has been rendered completely. So therefore, we need to put the window.unload. Okay, if you put it in the bottom, you don't really need that, but usually you put at the top. So I know the book probably shows you to put your script at the bottom all the time. Okay, that's fine. If you want to swap that around, so just to kind of challenge yourself, put your script on the top of the in the head section, and then in your script, just make sure you wrap your script inside the window.unload. Okay, you see me use this a few times. You can use the anonymous function. Close this over here. Anonymous function, just show you different ways. And you can have more than one window.unload. You don't have to just use one. You could have 10 of them, doesn't matter. Okay. You could also say window unload is equal to a function called init, for example. You can do that. Or you can do like window dot add event listener load, and then call the init function, and then false, right? You can do that as well. The init will actually call the init function. That's another way. So you can see there's many ways. We can also do the window dot add event listener, and then also load. And here you put the function, the anonymous function. You put your code in here. And then over here, just make sure you also include the, yeah, that's fine too, if you do like that. So you put your code in here, your statements in here, right? And of course, you can put your statements in here as well. And then here you have a function called init, and then this is where your body function is. So you can see there are lots of ways to do it. And however way you would choose to do it, that's completely up to you. Okay. Notice that this is very similar. We have the load as the actual event, and when we attach it to an object like this, we change it to the word unload, right? Unload, unclick on mouse enter, or mouse out. Okay. If you're using it at the add event listener, you only specify the actual event name without the word on. That's just how JavaScript name all their functions. Okay, so in other words, you don't want to put unload in here. If you do that, it's going to say there's no such thing as an event called unload. Okay. So which one do we want to use? Okay, let me just gonna comment or take all these out. I think we'll just use the first one at the top. Okay, let me just turn this off. I have too many, like I said before, too much flexibility give us like a headache sometimes. So we use this one here. Okay, so the first thing is we want to target the body because the body is already a part of the document. So basically, you can just say document.body, right? That is already because there's only one body in your document. There's no other bodies, right? Only one head section tag. There's no other tag either. So we could just say document.body is always the body tag. If you want to save you lines of code or make it shorter, you can say var body is for the body, and that will also point to that body tag. So notice you don't have to say document.get element by tag name body, right? You don't have to do that. You can. You don't have to. It's just sorted this way. I should say body, not body, right? So we do that, and then the new element we want to add is the h2. So we could put like h2 here, and document.create element. Okay, so you have to kind of remember this. Every time if you want to create an element, dynamically attach it to your tree. Okay, you can do it this way, or last time we did the other way, like this. H2 is equal to h2, right? That's boring stuff. Okay, every time you do a hard code, you code like this, it's okay. But if you look at it from a professional standpoint, I see someone who would do this versus someone who would do this. I would pick the second one. It's just so that you know your stuff. Okay. So try to use the add element by the create element instead of the hard coding your tags in there. So the tag is the h2 tag, And again, when we do that, then what's happening is actually we have this h2 tag floating around in memory somewhere, okay, and in the cloud, I guess, inside the h2, in the DOM, the virtual DOM is floating somewhere. It's not being attached to anything yet. We call that it's inside a fragment. So there's a document.create fragment also. So now we have h2, and then if you were to add this to the body, then basically you just have a blank h2. There's no content, right? So we want to also add the content in there. So we'll say add text is equal to, there's another function also, document.create text node, because text is not an element, so it really just a node. So that's why you only have text, create text node, okay? And then here is just a string of things you want to put in here. Here I could put like span text if I want to, and other tags, which is okay. You can, but I want to put just say what do we put in here? Traversing the DOM, maybe something like that. Okay, that is a text node. So now we have the text with that traversing the DOM, floating somewhere in the cloud, and we need to so encapsulate that inside the h2 tag. It doesn't have to be in there. It could be anywhere. It doesn't matter. You can attach this text node directly to the body tag without being wrapped inside any of the tag, right? You can do that, right? For example, you can do, I go here and I just say something here like that. That's okay. It's just text. But we want to wrap it with the h2. So in here, so we now say h2 dot append the child, and we append the text node. So now at this point, when we run this, we have h2 and then we have the text here. It looks like that now, but it still needs to be attached to the tree. And then we'll add it to the body. So we can say body dot append the child, and we'll put the h2 in here. So there we have it, right? And if we save this now and go back to the output, refresh, so we'll see that now it's been added to the DOM tree.